Hey everybody, it's Deanna. So I want to welcome you to this lesson where we're going to talk exactly about starting to plan your Kajabi site. And I'm going to be tackling the very first question that most people ask, which is, what exactly can I do with Kajabi? Now, I know you're either going through the 28-day trial or maybe you've just purchased your subscription to Kajabi because you've been hearing all these great things about it. But when it comes right down to it, you're not 100% sure the whole capabilities of what it can do and what that means for you and whether or not you should be using any or all of the features. So we're going to jump in right now and take a look so you can understand the big picture of exactly what you need for a digital products business and how much of that you can accomplish with Kajabi. So when we're talking about creating a digital products business, so these are courses, membership sites, and you can actually use your Kajabi site to offer coaching, for example. These are the components that you generally need. You need a public-facing website because people need to find you. They typically need to learn more about you and understand you and help them figure out whether or not they believe that you can actually help them accomplish what they're looking for. And you need a content platform, meaning a place where you can let people know via blogs or podcast episodes or a live or recorded video show, a little bit more about you, what you're teaching, what you're able to provide for people, and you need to deliver value. So these are the two, generally the beginning parts that we want to create because you need to have that content platform to be able to start driving traffic to your site. Now, many of you may already have a public-facing website. You might be using WordPress. You might be using Squarespace. So should you switch to Kajabi for your website? Well, there's a lot of decisions and questions you need to ask before you do that. Let me just say, if you have had a website for many years, you have already built a lot of your content, your free content on that platform, you might not want to switch. However, the beauty of this is if you're starting a new business, a new venture, or you are completely new to this and you haven't had a website, the fantastic thing is you can build all this on Kajabi without having to pay additional hosting costs to a website host. Now, obviously, if you're creating digital products, you want to be able to have a course and or membership platform. The big difference when you're talking about a course and a membership is this is not publicly available content. This is, as I like to say, content that you keep behind a paywall per se. People typically need to pay to be able to access this content. This is what Kajabi was originally developed for. This is its very, very strength. The additional benefit, however, as you're going to see, is it is an all-in-one platform and it allows you to be able to not only host that public website and your back-end paid content, but you can also have things such as assessments to be able to gauge whether or not your students in your courses are learning the material, and they can take these assessments or quizzes or provide surveys if you want, all within the Kajabi platform, and it stores all of the information in their record. You can also have a community. This is similar to a Facebook group or a forum where, as part of, say, a membership, you might want to also offer this community as part of the package to allow your members to interact with you and interact with each other. Email marketing and automations. For all of your marketing, you're really going to want to be able to focus on using email, and you want to be building that email list and using that email marketing to create automations for email sequences that go out automatically once somebody takes some kind of action on your site. Landing pages and funnel building tools. This is the big marketing piece of your digital products business. You need to be able to create those opt-in forms for your lead magnets, for your webinar registrations, being able to build all of the components of an effective sales funnel to drive people to purchasing your offers. And when we're talking about purchasing your offers, we're also talking about having the ability to actually process the payments, that people can choose to buy your course and go through a checkout process. And this is the one thing that is outside of Kajabi, but Kajabi integrates with it, is actually having the payments processed. And Kajabi integrates with PayPal and Stripe. You can use either of those or both to give your prospective customers an option. Now, the one thing I also neglected to add here is video hosting, because so much of our free and obviously paid content is based on video. Kajabi is integrated with Wistia. You do not have to pay extra for video hosting through Wistia. It is all built in with Kajabi. Now, I just showed you the whole list of things that you need to have for your digital products business. And some of you may be saying, well, it's great that Kajabi does email marketing, but I already have an email list with ActiveCampaign or ConvertKit or MailChimp. Well, the beauty of this is Kajabi does integrate with a number of email service providers like ConvertKit, ActiveCampaign, and MailChimp. So it's very easy to still run all of your email and your marketing automations on those platforms, but at the same time, be able to connect to Kajabi to, for example, provide access to one of your products when they purchase a course. So that's part of the good news. And very often in some of these other cases, you might be using other tools, and there are ways that you can integrate it with Kajabi. So really your first step when you're trying to get started with Kajabi is to actually decide, what parts of Kajabi are you going to use? Is it going to be the all-in-one platform that it's been designed to be, or are you just going to use bits and pieces of it in conjunction with other products that you might already have set up? So that's your first decision point. What exactly are you going to use of Kajabi, and what are you going to use outside of Kajabi and need to integrate? So below this video is a mind map that you can download that will walk you through some initial questions for you to make these very important decisions before you even start building anything on your Kajabi site. So join me in the next video where we're going to talk about planning your Kajabi site.